they're retaining most of their roster. I mean, for this season, next year, I believe they have their team options on Grant Williams, Peyton Pritchard, and those are the two major contributors who contributed to their finals run. But it will be the same core with Robert Williams, Theis, Smart, White, Brown, Horford, and Tatum. So,
yeah, Horford for the low.
Like, he don't want to play nowhere else. He
Horford making 20.
I want to be there. Yeah, I want to be in Boston.
He making $26.5 million next year. We're gonna give it to Cut then, May. So, Cut. Why do you think they need a point guard facilitator?
The pace of the game gets lost when you have Marcus Smart running the floor. He's not really a point guard.
Yeah, he's not.
It's just it gets very hectic, and then he'll get a ball to Tatum or Brown, and then it turns into iso ball. Nobody's moving. It's very like everybody watching Tatum and Brown. Like, oh, what you gonna do this time? Like they're waiting to be amazed. You're not gonna beat a really, really good team like that. And like I was telling y'all,
do threes with us too. He can't shoot threes with us. He can't.
Like I was telling y'all, the East is not. Everybody keeps trying to say the East is just as good as the West, but it's really not because you can get away with iso ball. In the West, you're not winning like that because they can score. They can outscore you. So it's just like even Luka. Like Luka don't necessarily do iso ball, but it was just like him by himself, and that's the Warriors. Literally, like a good team where they play decent defense, enough defense, and they can score. They're gonna eat you alive. That's why same pretty much it's the same story for everybody that got beat by the Warriors. Suns iso ball. They take you out of the game, and then they beat the Grizzlies iso ball. It started getting when it gets to a point where they know who you're gonna try to go beat them with. They be like, okay, we'll let him get his, or we'll not let him get his, and make somebody else beat us, or we'll just outscore you. So they got like 3 different ways they could beat you. And that's why I think the Celtics need to add a point guard, a real point guard.
They just drafted one.
I doubt. I mean,
J.D. Davidson from Bama, he hard.
But the thing, you see what I'm saying, bro? Like, they never had that. Kyrie, not a real point guard. Kemba, not really a facilitator either. Schroeder, I don't know what Schroeder was on. He's in Boston. So it's like, is he even in the league still?
Yeah, I think he played for like Houston. He got traded to Houston.
Oh, and then he don't play. So like, they need somebody that can just control the pace. I like Tatum and bringing the ball up. It's just sometimes you need a balance.
All right, Mace. Why are you against the Celtics? Persona PG.
Well, okay, so let's just look at. I don't even really disagree with anything Derek said, honestly, but I want to reframe the context around it. So ever since 2014, the Warriors have been a very terrifying team. And the reason why they have been a very terrifying team, okay, yes, Steph Curry and Clay, duh. But additionally, it is the pace at which they play. Nobody plays at the same pace the Warrior plays at. Nobody does. And even being the number 1 defense in the league, due to largely physicality on account of, especially like Robert Williams and Jaylen Brown, it becomes a physicality. It becomes like a strength versus speed kind of thing. And we've been seeing this for the last 8 years. They haven't won every title in the last 8 years, duh, but they've won half of them. And the reason why is because when the game gets rolling, you can't run with Steph, and you can't run with Wiggins, and you can't run with Draymond. As funny as that is to say.
Don't make that face, bro. You heard it.
And you can't run with these guys. You can run with Clay, but that's only because Clay got hurt. You could put Clay in here, but things have changed a little bit. You can't run with Poole. So their speed and their pace is what knocks a lot of people out of being able to beat them. And what else was I finna say? Speed, pace, Andrew Wiggins. Oh, and the thing about the Warriors is they be turning the ball over, bro. Like, and it still doesn't matter. The Warriors turn the ball over more than, I'm not going to say more than any team in the league, but they got to be top 5, bro. They be throwing that ball away because of the speed at which they play, but their energy and their effort makes up for it defensive and offensive end. And speaking of turning the ball over, I don't know how people feel about Jason Tatum, okay? I like Jason Tatum. I think he's great. Definitely a top 15 player in the league. You turned the ball over. You set a record for turnovers in the playoff series in the finals, in your first finals. We got to talk about that. I'm not saying if you didn't, they would have won, But I'm saying you're supposed to be the best player on your team. Which were you the best player on your team that series? That's a question mark.
He wasn't.
But you're supposed to be the best player of your team.
Who was it?
Turn the ball over.
It was Jaylen Brown.
It was Jaylen Brown, bro.
Hey.
And on social media and in NBA media, we saw, and myself included, I thought Jason Tatum was going to have that 42-point game. You know what I'm saying? At some point.
Yeah, everybody was expecting that. Everybody
It never happened.
That big game. It never
happened. So, and that's my issues with the whole, pace versus physicality thing. The Celtics are a fantastic team. Additionally, Marcus Smart, he's not the realest point guard, but when he got the full-time starting role with his first year with the rookie coach that gave him that chance, look what they did with it. We can knock them for losing the finals all we want to, but they made it to the finals. And that's something that they've never done. And they did it with him with that full-time role. Also, this is Marcus Smart's best year offensively. So I would say next year for the Celtics, what you want to do is you want to double down and invest in him. I saw him taking shots I never thought he would take. He went from Tony Allen to Tony Allen with a little bit of Tony Parker on us. And I appreciate seeing that kind of growth from a player like him, especially because he's about to be 30 or something this late on with his career. So although the Celtics lost, and although they're going to have to deal with Middleton and Giannis next year, who we may get to that later, shout out to Marcus Smart. I think he is the point guard for them. I think they needed better play from their superstar. And also, you can't run faster than the Warriors. You're going to have to beat them somehow, some other way. You can't outpace them. It's just not going to happen.
Marcus Smart started when he was with Ainge too, I think. He'd been a starter, I think. But what you said is true about him progressing. Like he took a leap this year on the offensive side.
He was hitting floaters, runners, like mid-range.
He always could hoop. I don't know. I feel like he's just one of the players that get in his own head sometimes. But he's, I guess. I don't know. I just like the idea of him being the 2, Brown being the 3, Tatum at the 4, and somebody else being out there with him. I don't like the Robert Williams, Horford, two big man lineup. I really don't.
I feel you.
I'd rather Horford come off the bench and be the 6th, like that 6th man. And that's smart.
And Robert Williams start the 5. Robert Williams is 5. That's a good player.
He's a beast.
That's what I was thinking more so. But I mean, they got outplayed. So
couple corrections.
That first game they came out hot, and I was like,
oh yeah, I know it. Both of y'all was talking big junk. Yeah, I know. I remember. I still got the receipts.
Couple of corrections. The Warriors didn't play the Suns. Mavericks played the Suns at 7. Marcus Smart is 28 years old. The Warriors were the second worst team in turnovers in the regular season.
I'm sorry.
Wow. See, that's not surprising at all.
They were 14.9 turnovers a game. Only the Rockets were worse with 16.5. Yeah, just a little.
Why did I say the Suns? Who else did they play? The Grizzlies. It was Grizzlies,
Mavericks, and Nuggets.
Oh, they played the Nuggets. That's the team I forgot about.
I don't remember nothing about that series.
It wasn't rememberable.
It was a Jordan Poole series.
That's funny.